and welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal. First, the top stories of the news. Algeria takes part in the international food and drink exhibition held by Moscow, Russia, to display its diverse and good quality products. Algeria attends the International Atomic Energy Agency meeting in Vienna to discuss the disastrous fallout of nuclear tests on environment and human beings. And the education sector is getting ready for the new school and university year with new budget items to ensure the success of this major national event. Welcome back. First in our news, Algeria is shining on the international food scene. No less than 15 national companies showcase their products at the World Food Exhibition being held in Moscow, Russia, one of the largest food industry trade exhibitions. Insights with Melissa Kebash.
15 Algerian companies are taking part in this year's fair, presenting a wide range of local products with an aim to open new export prospects towards the Russian market and that of Eastern Europe.
The objective of this participation is to promote Algerian products and explore ways to conquer the foreign market.
I
think that the Russian market is a very promising one. As the fair opened, we've received several visits from Russian economic operators. We hope for the upcoming days to hold fruitful accords and agreements.
The Algerian pavilion has already drawn considerable attention from foreigners. For economic operators, this is more than just an exhibition. It's a getaway to new partnerships, wider visibility, and stronger presence on the international scene.
Still with Algeria's presence abroad, Sonatrach is taking part in the World Energy Week hosted by Osaka, Japan as part of the World Expo 2025. This global event is an important platform bringing together officials and government organizations to discuss opportunities and challenges and innovative solutions for the energy transition. The participation of Sonatrach denotes the group's will to cope with innovation and clean energies via renewable energies and green hydrogen. Algeria made a strong impression at the European Fair for Industrial Oil and Alternative Energies, where homegrown products stood out, secured major contracts and positioned the country as a rising competitor on the global lubricants market. Coverage by Mohamed Qais, taken up by Melissa Lila Balaman.
Algeria's expertise took the spotlight at the European Fair for Industrial Oils and Alternative Energies, where Algerian-made products drew the attention of visitors and international specialists alike. Many agreed that Algeria is now a credible challenger to the sector's giants.
Algerian companies and Baraka in particular stood out in this highly competitive field, even building their own network in the European lubricants market. These are products used in synthetic oil, which are of course available in Europe, but it's the first time I see them manufactured in Algeria.
So Algeria indeed is for us a really important market. It's a big market where we see a lot of export from lube oil. Especially in our case, one of our key accounts in Algeria is Sonatrach, a customer where we delivered now several machines, including complete filling lines.
Well, we're absolutely delighted to have Baraka exhibiting at our show here in Düsseldorf, Germany. It's the 4th edition of Lubricant Expo Europe, and as we can see from year on year, we expand, we grow, and we get companies and organizations from many different countries around the world.
Baraka showcased new products in line with international standards, securing several major contracts, notably with export-focused firms as well as leaders in aviation and maritime lubricants.
Our presence at this major European fair was made possible through government support, especially efforts to boost national production, which now rivals leading global brands. 2026 will be decisive as we move into exports. Our products already interest top car makers and truck manufacturers worldwide.
Algeria's participation at the European Oils Fair went far beyond the symbolic presence. It became a tangible success, marked by the signing of strategic agreements with international partners, cementing Algeria's ability to claim a prominent place on the global stage.
With the participation of Algeria, the proceedings of the International Atomic Energy Agency kicked off in the Austrian capital, Vienna. The event is bringing together experts hailing from all over the world to discuss the fallout of nuclear tests on environment and human beings. On the sidelines of this meeting, Algeria held an event displaying the impact of the nuclear explosions in Algeria conducted by France, still felt by the local population. Ahead of the new university year 2025 and 2026, the Higher Education and Scientific Research Ministry announced that the sector has benefited from 4,112 budgetary items destined for hiring teachers, researchers and contractual employees. Still with the education sector, which has been boosted by new schools and other facilities to ensure the success of the new school year slated for next Sunday. A case in point, Tipaza province, which has benefited from more than budget items meant to hire teachers as part of the President's decision to integrate contractuals. New schools endowed with the necessary means have been inaugurated as well and will be operational starting from next Sunday. To the weekly report of the PNA as part of the fighting terrorism. Terrorist Okbawi Badi, known as Hamza, surrendered to the military authorities of Borj-Baji Mukhtar, belonging to the 6th Military Region. In his possession, weapons and ammunition. He joined the terrorist groups acting abroad in 2016. In the same context, PNA units arrested 4 elements backing terrorist groups in different operations throughout the national territory. As part of combating organized crime and drug trafficking, PNA detachments in coordination with the different security services intercepted 60 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to introduce 5 quintals of processed cannabis hailing from the Moroccan borders, in addition to 72 kilograms of cocaine and a huge quantity of psychotropic tablets. In Tamras, Borj-Baji Mukhtar, Ain Salah and Ain Gizan PNA units arrested 1,182 individuals and seized 33 vehicles and equipment used in illegal gold panning. In other operations, 15 individuals were arrested in their possession equipment, goods and fuel destined for speculation and smuggling. And finally, coastal guards for the attempts of illegal migration rescued 411 people using dignities and arrested 9,040 migrants of different nationalities across the national territory. You are still watching Canal. Coming up in our news. Horror in Gaza with massacres perpetrated overnight by the Zionist war machinery, compelling Gazans to flee their country. Welcome back. Sahrawi activists have intensified their efforts across Europe, from Geneva to Stockholm and Oslo, to denounce Moroccan abuses in the occupied territories and rally growing international support for their cause. Melissa Lila Balaman reports.
Defending the Sahrawi cause and denouncing Moroccan human rights abuses are at the heart of Sahrawi activism across several European cities. In Geneva, during the 60th session of the Human Rights Council, the Sahrawi delegation made its case, backed by growing voices of solidarity from around the world.
On the sidelines of the 60th session of the Human Rights Council, the conference hosted by South Africa and several international NGOs spotlighted the plight of Sahrawi political prisoners in Moroccan jails. The speakers underscored the absence of accountability for grave human rights violations in the occupied territories and called for Morocco to be held responsible for its abuses against the Sahrawi people.
As a representative of the Frente Polisario, which is the legitimate representative of the people entitled to the rights of self-determination, I would like to shed some lights on the cost. I would retain the expression of Manuel of delaying the application of the international law.
In the Swedish capital, Stockholm, the Sahrawi delegation from the Codesa Human Rights Group carried out joint initiatives with Swedish NGOs to draw national attention to the legitimacy of the Sahrawi cause and the abuses perpetrated by the Moroccan occupier.
Sahrawi activists are continuing awareness campaigns in several European capitals, including Geneva, Stockholm and Oslo, to denounce human rights violations and abuses targeting Sahrawi civilians and activists in the occupied territories.
This European tour by the Sahrawi delegation seeks to expose the horrid face of Moroccan occupation at a time when more and more international voices are rising in support of the Sahrawi cause.
Still with international news, at the heart of Gaza, dozens of families have become homeless in the blink of an eye after a strike hit the El Jundi Al Jadid tower, forcing the residents to flee their town. Melissa Kabesh once more.
What used to be El Jundi Al Majhul Tower is now the pile of concrete and metal you are seeing, and what used to be its residents turned into dozens of homeless families living in the streets.
Our children and wives are sleeping outside. They need to be protected. What are we going through is a catastrophe. The airstrike hit so hard the entire building collapsed within a blink of an eye. I lost all my belongings. We've lost everything.
The tower is one of many destroyed by the Zionist entity with the aim to chase away the population already suffering.
I tried to enter my house. It was unrecognizable. I didn't know what to take. I took a pillow. I saw my own kids running in the streets, seeking shelter from the bombs. They want to chase us, but we will stay. This is our country.
Despite being homeless, traumatized, and uncertain of what the future holds, Palestinians are showcasing a matchless bravery.
Sports now. The Algerian athlete Mohamed Yasser Triki progressed to the final stage of the triple jump event as part of the World Athletics Championship being held in Japan. The final will take place next Friday, where Triki is to compete with 11 other participants. All the best to Triki as well as to the other Algeria's representatives in the sporting events. With this, we come to the end of our news bulletin. Tomorrow, another day, other news. Keep tuning to Canal. Goodbye.